I don't know which way you move it, it just looks horrible. That's perfect.
Happy Halloween.
Oh, that's nice.
There's no way in hell I'm not gonna win this challenge. My tattoo is the only one that actually looks realistic. I'm gonna go home a winner.
For this elimination tattoo, we want you to terrify us with a horror tattoo.
I am ecstatic that this week we're doing horror images. It is 70% of the work I do. I'm gonna kill it.
Similar to books and films, horror is a broad style with one goal in mind, and that's to scare. The tattoos look real using texture to bring them to life.
I'm happy as a pig in I'm known for tattooing dead stuff, bloody, gory, demon-like. I mean, this is the best stuff I do. I'm really super happy about this.
Everything you do is a horror flick. Who here does horror? Point to Steve.
I think that horror could probably be portrayed in most styles. What do you think? I'm gonna put this on you?
That's awesome.
You like it?
Yeah.
Anytime I get the opportunity to draw something in my style and do what I do, I'm gonna take it.
What are you doing to this guy?
Steve has the advantage in this challenge. This is what he does. That's his MO.
I hate you.
I hate you too.
My biggest threat is Jesse Smith. And what he does, he's one of the best in the world. He does one style incredibly well, but I'm really great at 4 to 5 different styles. And to become an ink master, you have to be versatile.
I never realized how much detail is in it until I start doing it. I like the design that I come up with, but it's kind of difficult, it's kind of complex. I just hope that it comes across the way I see it in my head on the skin. It took me a minute to even find my way in this month. Hopefully I can just stay out of the bottom, period.
I normally do like 2 or 3 of these a day.
It's awesome.
I finish early, it's a solid piece. Now I have all this extra time to kind of play with background elements. Dude, the little Jack in the Box down here with the spring coming up and like the head is the clown coming out of the Jack in the Box.
Wanna rock it?
Yeah!
10 more minutes.
I have the most fun doing this kind of stuff. I have at least 10 different textures. Brain matter, muscle tissue, pus, blood. It's a lot of texture. And a lot of texture takes a lot of time. I got 6 hours, and in the amount of time I can do, this is what I got. I have to make sure that I can finish this tattoo.
10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Time's up. No more ink.
Good job. I've definitely hit the nail on the head. I've got tons and tons of texture in my tattoo, and I think it looks really good.
I am very worried that I bit off a little more than I could chew with the time restraint and my design. All I can do is hope to God that somebody drops the ball.
What you think?
Oh, yeah.
You like that?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
I wanted to do a tattoo for the world to see that screams Big Daddy Trey, and that's why I put FTW in it, the world. So if they decide to send me home, I'm good with that.
This week, we asked you to create a horror tattoo. We were testing texture. Clint, you won the Flash Challenge and had ultimate power.
I feel like you lost it. What happened to the back of her head? Just collapsed in.
Which side, the right or left?
There's no ear, there's no cheek, there's no head.
The stencil was falling away on it.
If you can't get textures in the face or in the blood or the hands, where's the place you can shine for texture? Hair. Did you just abandon ship?
I think for as limited as the tattoo was, I did fairly well.
No, but your challenge is texture. You gotta do the hair. You gotta make that hair look feathery and blowing.
Yeah, I dropped the ball.
You didn't do texture.
Jamie. I love the tattoo. The texture all over this thing is really, really well done. My issue with the piece is that it's difficult to read unless you're right up on it.
It's kind of the same tone throughout. There could have been some really heavy dark spots and then lighter tones to make these muscle structures stand out.
If you would have done the head really dark, the chest really dark, kind of like a wolf, then this tattoo would look completely different. It would definitely have a lot more strength to it.
K-Cutter.
You had a really tough tattoo, man. It's a crazy design, and it's disturbing.
It's a real lack of detail in the brain and the intestines. This is texture. That was your point, man. I feel like that face is so dark, and then the chest and shoulder area and the skin tone and the rest of the tattoo is just so light, it's just barely there.
Well, my intention was for the face to be in the forefront and all the attention drawn there, and I see the design flaws.
The back should be much darker than the front. That's off in the distance. That design flaw really hurts you. I know what you're seeing and what you're trying to do, you're just not hitting it.
Sarah, you finished what you set out to do, had extra time, and then added on elements to this piece.
I think it came out really good, and the extra elements that we added made the whole theme come together.
I think you got done early because you missed detailing out things to a higher level. The hair is definitely what throws me in this. With heavier black, this face would have jumped off there because it would have been a nice, heavy look. The mouth on this thing's incredible. The teeth and the wetness, the tongue, you definitely are able to capture texture, but if you put that much attention into this part, then put it into the rest, because then you have a stand clear winner. Right now, there's room for dispute.
Sebastian, come on up, man. How did you guys settle on this design?
It was like, hey, you know, let's do a picture view.
Her hair wasn't quite like this.
I was trying to make sure I could get that texture good.
If you can do all that texture in the face, then you can do hair.
Her hair was pretty big. I didn't think I was gonna have enough time to try to go way out.
This looks like a puff, and then the weird little scratchy outline and shading on the top, it just makes it look like a big, thick river of nothing up there. If we tell you to do a challenge and do texture, don't abandon the rest of your tattoo because you're not gonna win. You didn't do a finished tattoo.
Steve.
I like the way you layer. You can see it in the undertones. You do a really dark area almost to feel the black, but then you still get this darker layer behind it where you really add the texture and you really make those little pits.
Lalo?
Where you're coming up short is your color saturation and your lack of black outline or heavy dark areas. You're just not hitting that mark.
I have a very painterly approach to things.
Just don't feel like this painterly point of view is accomplishing the challenges that are being set forth in this competition.
Tattoo baby.
Where you lost me a little bit is on the eyes, the hair. Not a lot of detail in the hair. It could have been a little more texture.
You see her hair in her bottom right has a little more texture and detail and streaks. This is a really big piece. Maybe I bit off more than I could chew.
The room for you to mismanage your time and you to not detail these things out is gone.
Trey.
As far as texture goes, there's no texture at all in this. Can you do texture?
Yeah, but sometimes I overdo it, and I didn't want to overdo this tattoo.
You didn't give me anything to judge.
You should have put some breaks, and you could have put the texture in the crack. You could have put the texture in the cross-cut feature of the bone. Just little details like that would have completed this challenge.
Jesse.
Jesse, you did a great, crazy, texturized, color, depth tattoo. A lot of detail from top to bottom. There's not a section of this tattoo that I can pick out and say you should have spent more time there.
The colors really bounce off of each other. Everything just lights up nicely.
Thank you.
Mark?
The shading in the head and in the face is so wall-to-wall and solid, you actually hurt yourself.
That cover-up feel. It's a big, dark tattoo.
Came down to a time management thing.
I disagree. Your time isn't gonna save this tattoo. The only thing that would have saved this face is a different one. This is not Ink Master anything.
Two of you impressed us, and two of you did not. Jesse and Steve, you guys have the top two tattoos. The judges have decided that the best tattoo of the day goes to Steve.
Good job, bud.
There's an obvious trend. You guys are battling. You guys obviously know that you keep rivaling back and forth. But the bottom line is that we've seen you do color and we haven't seen you do black and gray, Jesse. You gotta fight back soon, man. And it's coming. I wanna see you guys do some.
You have 6 hours to tattoo a Grim Reaper. And your time begins now.
All right, let's do this.
It's a shirt.
Let's get this done.
All right, girl.
For these last 5 tattooers, we saved these guest judges all the way till the end. This is it. These guys are under the microscope. Stakes are high.
Here we go.
My canvas originally wanted a colored Grim Reaper sitting on the throne of skulls. We've narrowed it down to doing a partial Grim Reaper. I just told him if he's gonna do it, it's gotta be big. He didn't want to do a head the size of a quarter.
Because of the detail on the face?
Yeah, I figure he's a big guy, do something that's a lot broader, make it look as creepy as possible.
My strategy with this tattoo is to do a different style Grim Reaper and make it stand out from all the rest.
What's up, Marky? How are you, man?
Good.
You've been tattooing forever. I remember seeing your name around when I first started.
There's a lot of pressure in this elimination tattoo. We got 6 judges, and we're so close. I cannot stumble now.
All black and gray?
No, this one's gonna be full color.
Mark's tattoo, compositionally, it's very forced. The face of the Grim Reaper, it's solid black. It almost looks like a cover-up. He needs to step it up.
1 hour left.
I'm super worried that I went too big with this tattoo.
Forgot this whole...
I'm fighting with the time on this one because it's such a big tattoo. It's gonna be a race to the finish line.
The stakes are so high right now, there's 5 of us left. So I'm gonna make this the most badass Grim Reaper you ever did see.
Brad, I don't ever get to do black and gray, so it's fun. Yeah, I like doing stuff like this.
I'm bringing a lot of creativity to this design. I have the perfect contrast, the perfect composition. I'm gonna win.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Time's up. Machine's down. No more tattooing.
That's it.
Take a look in the mirror.
Oh, yeah. That's badass. I like that.
Awesome.
Oh my God, that is amazing.
Mark's design, to me, it looks like a used condom holding a sickle. It was subpar, the execution is horrible. He missed every single mark that the judges wanted to see.
Today, you all had to tattoo a Grim Reaper, and you're being judged on the skills picked by our guest judges. Creativity, composition, and contrast. Mark, let's start with you.
The overall feel of this tattoo is very bubbly and cartoony. Doesn't really have like a dark, evil side.
As far as the contrast, the black face and the cloak, you definitely could have shown a little more dimension, adding a little shade as if it was empty, not just a solid black blob.
From a compositional standpoint, it lacks that serious look that a Grim Reaper should have. It's not a tattoo designed for an adult. You should love what you do, and if you don't, then don't do it. And from the looks of this tattoo, you don't love what you do.
That's pretty rough, because I love tattooing more than anything in this world. I've dedicated my life to it.
I don't get the feeling that you put any love into it, any effort, and you just did the bare minimum.
Clean.
Technically, it's smooth and sound and solid. The outline is clean, the black is black, the color is bright. But there's just a lot of problems with the design. I can't get away from this hoodie. You don't even have the cloak over the skull, which gives it even more of that hoodie look.
I guess it's, I mean, that's my style, you know. I try not to do what everybody else is doing.
I know it's your style, but I think the skull could have been a little more refined because it was on a girl. It looks a little ugly.
The creativity in it's good. I just think maybe you put too much into it. When I'm creating a tattoo for somebody, I always try to look at what the person looks like and try to make it fit them aesthetically. I probably would have let up a little bit more and try to give her something soft.
You dropped it on this one. If you would have gone with a more realistic, finer line instead of a heavy, bold, cartoony style, you would have had a much different feel. Technically, you're always solid, but this design is probably one of my least favorite I've seen from you this competition.
Jason. How did you land on this view?
She wanted something more creative, so I thought, well, let's just make it look like it just took somebody's soul and it's reveling in the power of that.
You took a big risk on the angle of that skull, but you really nailed the contrast with that soul escaping. It breaks it up really well. And then you have some really dense, dark areas that make it work with that soft shadow coming through. I think you did a great job.
Thank you so much.
I'm really impressed. It's a beautiful tattoo. It's telling a creative story. You thought about what the Grim Reaper was and reaping your soul, and you hit the nail on the head with the creativeness.
Eric. How did you come up with this imagery?
Out of my head. I live in my sketchbook, so.
As far as creative goes, I like the fact that you drew it and created it out of nothing, and it's your style. One of the problems I have with the tattoo is the scythe. It looks like part of the cloak, and the colors don't even match on the opposite side.
The scythe is an opaque brown, and the cloak is black and gray, so I know that will lighten up, so as soon as it heals, it should stand apart a little better.
The biggest problem that you have here is that everything is the exact same shape, the exact same jagged lines. The scythe has them, the cloak has them, the skull has them. It's so jagged that you don't differentiate your parts and pieces other than with the color.
On a composition standpoint, it's a little average. I don't think you took many risks, and especially in a competition like this, you really have to challenge your own status quo. That's the only way you're gonna really stay in it.
Chris.
Technically, it's pretty smooth. Design-wise, there's some weird going on with this tattoo.
I wanted to do more of a stylized Grim Reaper. I try to be more creative with it.
I think you got two things conflicting. You have this tattered part of the cloak, and then you have this nice refined part of the cloak. Kind of reminds me like of a Virgin Mary. Doesn't really look like a tough Grim Reaper. I think some teeth and stuff would have helped it a lot.
Compositionally, something just doesn't look right. The way the hand's positioned, it almost looks like it's on the sidelines, ready to root for the team. Doesn't have a very strong energy like it should.
I've given you every shove I could, and you just keep giving me the same stuff. I can't stand this tattoo.
Judges, it's time to determine a winner. Who had the best tattoo of the day?
If I had to wear one of the 5 tattoos, I would choose to wear Jason's.
I only saw one that was the Grim Reaper, and that was Jason.
My top will be Jason also. I think that you really did capture a mood with that tattoo, and it did look sinister, evil. It had a whole feel about it that we were looking for.
Final decision.
Jason.
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 The winner of Best Tattoo of the Day is Jason.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much.
Congratulations, man. Okay, artists, you have 5 hours to tattoo permanent death wounds. And your time starts now.
All right, let's do this. All right, sweetheart, we're gonna put the stencil up. It's gonna be like some permanent horror movie makeup. It's gonna look gnarly, dude. I'm not worried about anything when it comes to this challenge. I noticed that, especially about machete wounds, the gash will start kind of large, and then it kind of thins out towards the end a lot. My canvas has nothing else on his back. The idea of letting blood spill from his back provides an extra layer of gruesome gore to my tattoo.
You have no idea what this looks like, huh?
Not at all.
It's gnarly.
My competitors have to be bricks. Clint's tattoo, why he chose to go with this gaping vagina, I could never tell you.
So how do you feel about this one? Confident?
I'm always confident.
This is your final hour. 1 hour remaining.
Yeah, I was wondering if you're gonna do a busted up buckshot.
Yeah, looks like it kind of exploded. When I take home this victory, it's gonna mean so much more than if I was just doing this for the first time. This is a shot at redemption, and this is a shot to show the world how much I've grown in the past 6 years.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. That is it. Time's up. Machine's down. No more ink.
You survived.
No matter which way you move it, it just looks horrible. That's perfect.
Happy Halloween. Oh, that's nice. There's no way in hell I'm not gonna win this challenge. My tattoo is the only one that actually looks realistic. I'm gonna go home a winner.
For your first tattoo, you had to use killer dimension to give your canvas a realistic wound. Billy, you're up first.
We wanted to do a buckshot style shotgun wound.
The shining moments of this tattoo are the 3 main blood drips. The color tones of the different shadows of the blood drips look nice, but where the blood comes out of the hole, there could have been a shadow to make that look like it's rippling over to kind of give some depth to that. Getting the depth in that hole is one of the things you didn't pull off.
It does look like it goes inward.
The drips in this are definitely what the rest of the hole needs to compete with.
St. Mark.
Definitely gory, but there's a couple of areas that I think could have benefited with a lot more saturation. The blood looks like watered down blood, doesn't have that thick, curdled, heavy drip look.
My favorite element to this is the little connective tissue within the wound that's going across. It just adds that gritty texture that this isn't a surgical incision. This was just haphazardly done. So, challenge achieved. Clean.
Super clean, super saturated. Looks like a slit throat. It's not a question of what this wound is.
Your tattoo shows these textures that are inside, just beyond the bubbling blood.
Lots of really great dimension in this thing. The highlights on the blood that are dripping out of this add to the gore. Killer job. Clint.
There's not a lot of dripping blood. There's not a lot of different tissues and textures on the inside, so it's not really a horrific scene.
I just kind of gave her a Clint Cummings rip.
It doesn't look like a chainsaw wound on her side. The little dots you did all around the outside, it looks like a little kitty cat set of paw prints. It's very strange. If this was an elimination today, guess who'd be first man off the boat?
All right, guys, time to debate best tattoo of the day. Tough call between the two.
Clean's tattoo is 100% convincing. I have to go with Clean.
The judges have decided that the best tattoo of the day goes to Clean. Well done, man. To win this competition, you must be ruthless. Any sign of weakness could cost you $10,000. Your canvases are in touch with their own dark side, and they want to bring it into the light. Today, you must tattoo their inner demon.
Damn.
And you must portray the demon ripping out of your canvas's skin.
We're doing another damn skin rip. I'm on the brink of just losing my
Demons are evil, supernatural beings that can come in many forms, but none of them are human. From scales and claws to horns and teeth, demons often have animal characteristics that show their fierce power. You must use texture to bring these characteristics to life.
Texture is nothing more than the way that light interacts with the shape of objects and images that we're trying to convey. If you can't pull that off, you're gonna have a very flat image that won't be believable.
Okay, artists, you have 5 hours to tattoo an inner demon ripping out of your canvas's skin. And your time begins now.
All right, let's do this.
Let's get jamming. As long as you sit there and get it done.
4 more hours.
Let's go big, man, and show them what's up.
I don't want to play it safe.
This tattoo is huge. I'm showing a lot of texture by giving this skin nice wrinkles and fatness and bubbly and wet.
Give me the hardest tattoo, so when I kill it and I knock it out of the water, I look that much better. At least that's my mindset.
I hope I didn't shoot my foot.
I feel like I have more on the line than any of these guys. Coming off that huge loss.
3 hours remaining, everybody.
How you holding up?
I'm doing all right. You do your thing.
All right.
I'm not just gonna show one texture. I'm gonna try to include all sorts of different shapes and geometry into my tattoo.
Like I said, man, we're taking this down in a minute.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That is it. Time's up. Machine's down. No more ink.
Woo! Yeah!
No way! That looks badass.
That's insane.
Yeah, man.
Awesome.
Damn. That is nothing like I pictured it.
St. Mark's really not showing any kind of texture at all.
Jesus.
His skin rips don't even look like rips. They look like some weird negative space flames. I'm gonna take him out.
Today, you had to use texture to create a demon ripping out of your canvas's skin. Clean, you're up first.
Hitting the demon, I think you hit it. Hitting the skin rip, the textures, I think that's where you lost out. You made it look more like a tree limb.
I wanted it to look like it was, you know, decayed skin.
It looks more like he's just intertwined in the trunk of a tree more than actually coming out of skin.
You know, it's still a skin rip.
You went really big, and I think you bypassed showing off the detail in each tentacle, but more than anything, I think it's an interesting drawing. For that, I'm cool with it.
St. Mark.
One thing I like about it the most is how it fits the body. Being able to go in with this guy's pre-existing, very awkward shape and filling that space up with this demon, it shows a lot of tattoo experience, but the way this tattoo begins and ends just doesn't have that skin ripper feel.
I was trying to match up with the rest of the sleeve. He wanted something that had continuity.
You are competing against these guys. Whoever looks like it has texture is the guy who's gonna win today, and the guy who doesn't have that is the guy that's gonna lose.
Billy. I like the fact that it's a non-specific evil entity that creates a shred of believability to this thing.
The realistic approach on the skin rips and the lots of different textures you got in here. The shine in the eye, the wetness, the inside and the tentacles, but your saturation in all these colors, very light, very washy.
This thing healed is gonna be an entirely different tattoo in a year. So it's all frosting and no cake.
Can't wait for my turn. Next artist up is Clint.
Very simple on the skin rip, not a lot of texture, but the biggest thing about it for me is it's hard to tell what's going on. It just looks like jewels. Don't really have the idea that it's a fox.
I was fighting myself with making it look too wolfy because she was adamant about being a fox.
The drawing doesn't work, and the drawing is everything.
All right, guys, $10,000 on the line. 3 of you will move on, and 1 of you will pack your machines. Do we have a winner?
Overall, for a more solid, well-executed tattoo, I'm leaning towards clean.
The finished product and the way that it's gonna hold up over time is undeniably clean.
The best tattoo of the day goes to Clean.
Thank you.
Welcome to your final elimination tattoo. When it's done, 1 of you will walk away with $10,000 and some serious bragging rights.
I'm 2 for 2. There's no stopping this train.
This is not the Crack Rock 1 show. I am out for blood. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to win that money.
You're being tested on precision.
Every move you make, every time that needle touches the skin, it has to be in a perfect spot. Precision is Clean tattoos. Clean Rock 1 is precision. Done.
Your canvases today are taking Till Death Do Us Part into the afterlife. They all want portraits of their spouses as zombies.
I love doing dark, evil things, and zombies are right in that avenue. This is definitely my shot to take Clean and knock him down where he belongs.
You must transform the spouse into a zombie by adding in rotting flesh, oozing blood, and all of the things that make them so gory. You must use precision to capture the likeness of the face so that even beneath the blood and the guts, its identity is unmistakable.
I am coming out with my guns blazing.
That looks kind of badass. It's like the veins is like...
That's what I was kind of going for. More veins, like an infection, you know, that...
Yeah.
I'm a goddamn legend. I'm one of the first guys in the whole world to really be able to pull off a portrait. I'm nailing this thing. Billy is the only threat I have to worry about, and he's not doing a zombie. I'm not sure what the hell that is.
3 hours to go, guys. 3 more hours.
I'm gonna do some smoky atmosphere behind it, just to kind of look more distant, keep her more focal. I want to make this thing jump off the skin. I want to make her eyes seem like they're peering into your soul. Doing portraits is impersonal when you don't know who you're doing a portrait of. When that person's sitting over your shoulder and watching you make their likeness, it's a little scary. There's something that haunts me from season 1, and that's when Dave said to me, "You do not have what it takes to be an ink master." I think I do have what it takes, and that's just something I want to prove to myself and to the world.
Final 5 minutes.
This is a big tattoo, and I'm gonna take it down to the second.
Jesus Christ. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
I'm gonna make sure that every single T is crossed and I is dotted.
Oh my God.
There is no way I'm losing this.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up, machines down, no more ink.
All right, man. Get on up. You haven't even seen it yet.
No, I haven't even
This
taken a
is
look
it.
at it. That is awesome. You nailed it.
Sick.
It's ridiculous.
I love it.
It's gorgeous.
Billy Vegas' tattoo looks like a goddamn cover-up. Why would you do so much black? She doesn't even look like a zombie. It looks like some girl who's been crying all night long because her boyfriend just dumped her.
Billy, Clean, and St. Mark. Today, you had to show precision by tattooing a zombie portrait. Clean, we will begin with you.
Hitting the challenge, you show a ton of precision. The really dark, deep set eye sockets that are all destroyed really look great against that green. And then that milky covering is a really smooth, cool trick to put over that eyelid to make it look all washed out and creepy and crazy.
The cracking of the skin on the nose, the torn away piece of her face, the blood dripping is very well done. For not being a portrait person, I think you did a great job capturing the likeness. But one of the things I'm not a big fan of is it looks like this zombie got half her face ripped off and then went into the store and bought a brand new, bright, shiny, pressed blue shirt.
I thought about that, but I thought it was more like a soccer mom just got bit and now she's ready to eat her kids.
There's no way that her face is gonna get ripped off and not get a little blood on that shirt.
Billy.
Billy, I think you did some really nice things here. Just trying to anchor this thing in with more rich black and actually using the photo that has that deep, dark black area. Just don't be scared to commit in the nose. The sore thumb on this tattoo is the fact that it's not in that bridge of the nose. She has very doe-like eyes. You changed the color, you gave her these honey brown eyes that are very soft. You change things for the better.
She kind of looks more like a victim or someone dead other than an actual zombie.
I do like doing beautiful women as morbid tattoos. You know, she expressed to me that she did want to still remain looking beautiful from beyond the grave.
St. Mark.
The first thing that stands out to me is it really looks like her, especially the mouth, the curl of the nose, the wrinkle in the brow. I love the black blood coming out of her mouth and blackness around the eyes. Just gives it that demonic zombie kind of look to it.
The actual way that you capture the gestures and the expression in her face shows precision. Where I think you lose the precision is in the hair.
In real life, she has pretty dark hair, and in your tattoo, her hair is white.
We'd kind of talked about frosting her hair.
If you're gonna leave that hair that light, you're gonna need a little bit more darkness in the top of the background to let those details be crisp.
Billy, Clean, and St. Mark. One of you is about to walk away with $10,000, and two of you are about to walk away empty-handed. It all comes down to this moment. All right, judges, do we have a winner?
Looking at all three tattoos, judging just from a portrait side, St. Mark did a great job capturing the likeness of the lady. Billy did a lot of really creative things with the shadowing, but man, Clean's got some great details in there that were in the photo, and then the details he added to make the zombie effect are also very nice and very tight.
Chris.
St. Mark did more of a dynamic style take on the actual photo itself and incorporating that hand in. He was on the right track. I just feel like for making this thing gory, the two color tattoos edge out the black and gray today.
I think when it comes to precision, I think soft, classic black and gray is a lot harder to finesse than just packing color in over color.
The area where you have the precision issue is the hair. That being said, I really like what Billy did. It has that beautiful, creepy, soft, whited out face. The fact that Clean hit the actual outer shape, but then took the liberties inside to actually glaze the eyes over was a wise choice. I would lean towards Clean.
My vote goes for Clean as well. The judges have decided the best tattoo of the day goes to Clean. Congratulations, buddy.
Ow! God damn it. Hey.
Not only did you win best tattoo of the day, that means you just won $10,000 and some serious bragging rights over some of the most ruthless competitors ever. Okay, artists, you have 6 hours to tattoo the Undead. And your time starts now.
All right, let's go.
Stay right about there. Okay, stand straight again. The good thing is no one in the world is gonna have this tattoo.
In order to do a successful Undead tattoo, you're gonna have to be really good at texture, from fur to slime to bone.
Oh my God, I love it. It's gonna look so nice.
If the textures all look similar, the tattoos are gonna look really messy and muddy. These things can go awry quick.
I'm standing right here. Like, I know exactly what it is.
Exactly, right?
Problem with these things, people get so crazy, they muddy them up.
I have the best coach for this challenge.
At home, I would cover this thing in blood. But here, I don't know if I would.
We have a huge advantage. You know, this is Steve's. This is what he's good at.
You be doing nothing but scary like me now. It's fun as
So you have a boy and a girl?
Yeah, man. The boy's 6, the girl is 2.
My canvas has young children that can't be scared by this tattoo. He doesn't want any realism, so I'm gonna give him a beautiful, new school, undead teacher zombie.
You got kids?
Yeah, I got 2 daughters. I had a son, but he passed away.
Oh, God.
He had a heart condition. It's hard to lose a kid, man.
Sorry to hear about that.
I don't know where I would be right now if I didn't have my daughter, though. There's been a lot of loss in my family. I feel like that's why I'm here. I'm here to win. My family needs a win.
Picture there actually being like a water
here. You know, so your body's halfway in it.
My canvas finally settled on a compromise. I'm doing a high angle, looking down at the mermaid, and that way you can see all of the gore and the guts and the face and the body, but also get the tail in there and all the mermaidy things.
Maybe if it's just like the idea of the tail.
Just so you can kind of tell where it comes from.
I'm worried about the fin because I don't know if it actually reads to everyone else the way I feel it does.
It's like a sticker right now, so I'd leave it.
My team has always had a target on our backs, and right now none of us are looking safe from elimination.
4 hours remaining, guys. 4 more hours.
Oh, that, dude. Don't use that anymore.
Nope, I know. It's just that there's one spot.
I know how to handle this complexion. I've dealt with it hundreds of times. But right now, 2 or 3 lines just kind of cut open a little bit. If this whole tattoo turns out like those couple lines did, his whole arm's gonna look more undead than this raven. There's nothing I can do now. The trauma happened, it's in front of me. I have to do the best tattoo I could possibly do because the judges have one reason to send me home and I'm not gonna give them another.
You might have cut that dude.
I'm telling you, the part that's lined, if I pour water on his arm, the water will run down and run right in that rib line.
That could be a huge game changer.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Machine's down. Time is up. No more ink.
All right, dude, we're all set.
I love this! Thank you! Of course.
That little halo and stuff really set it off, huh? Dude, my pleasure, buddy.
Today, you had to prove your adaptability tattooing the undead. Let's see how you did. Team DJ, you're up first. Deanna.
I love the detail you have in the mouth. I love how the fur around the mouth looks blood-soaked. As far as the structure of the lion, if you follow up the bridge of his nose, it's just pretty random, these bumps and shapes. It doesn't really have the real shape and real dimensions and real believability that this is a portrait of a lion.
Lil D.
From a distance, it definitely looks like the Statue of Liberty, but there still needs to be some line work in this thing. You're losing so much of what could make this thing stand out.
I feel like you missed texture on the robe, on the hair. The actual definition it's calling for, I don't really see you hitting that.
Frank. When I think of a mermaid, I think of a woman's torso and the tail.
I wanted to make sure I could do really cool things in the body and the face and not waste a lot of time on the lower parts of that.
It looks like there's a crazy, weird, unrecognizable shape lingering behind her shoulder, which is not connected to her in any way. It is hard to tell what the is going on with it.
Josh.
I like this tattoo. I love the little details in the mouth and the little sickness coming out of there.
You did a really great job leaving a lot of open skin so that it's very legible. No questions about it. This is a bird that's rotting on the ground and came back to life.
But there's multiple trauma spots. The lines on the rib cage, you can actually see there's trauma there.
I'll definitely own up to it 110%. That little nick happened, and I had to adjust quickly, and I had to make sure it didn't happen again.
But this is the best tattoo that's been done this whole competition. I would wear this thing, dude.
1.
First thing on this guy is the face. He looks like he lost his dentures.
I was gonna put teeth to it, but it really looked like a snake.
I don't see the actual koi aspect. I see it from the gill down. I guess I just expected a really tough, crazy face.
Team Steve, you're up. Gary.
No doubt, this is an undead samurai.
Your strength here in this whole tattoo is lighting that face up.
Heavy blacks, open skin, it gets to point across really easy.
Thank you.
Jeremy.
I like the illustration. Your drawing is super cool.
You showed adaptability and just the little elements within the drawing, the chalkboard, the eraser, the chalk, the apple on the desk, and just the tools stuck in this guy's head. It's a killer tattoo.
Thank you.
Rolly.
The actual quality of tattooing, it's smooth, it's buttery, but in the fur texture that you create, there's not a lot of separation.
I definitely wanted to get a lot more texture.
This is not the place to keep them guessing. You have to state your point to win.
Fame.
There's a lot of great technique in this thing. The deep inset cuts and cracks of the face look like a vampire getting hit by the sun and cracking and dying. Dynamic features, man. I think it's really smooth.
All right, guys, time to determine who had the best tattoo of the day. For me, Josh is on top with just the imagery.
That's my winner, but what about skin trauma?
Jeremy did a nice tattoo. Fame did a nice tattoo.
The face is so dynamic.
Is Juan out of the running?
Adaptability-wise, I think I hit it because I try to keep it in the style of Japanese traditional and all of that while zombifying it.
The judges have decided the best tattoo of the day goes to Fame.
Great, thanks a lot. Thank you.